Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. I'm Luke Monster. Today we have some exciting news to talk about regarding the Black Series re-release rumors that have been going around. And so if you don't know anything about that, I do already have a few videos up on it. I'll pin them in the card right now if you want to check it out, but I will do a quick recap here. But we also do just have an update as well as some drama in the Black Series community, so I do want to make sure I cover that here on the channel. Let's go ahead and jump right into it. So if you did miss my last videos on this, at the beginning of August, a YouTube channel called Nerdzoic, he will be linked in the description if you want to check this out for yourself, but he pretty much did a live stream announcing that there was going to be a bunch of brand new Black Series re-releases, including a bunch of holy grails like the Archive Anakin, Season 7 Ahsoka, Emperor Enthroned, Shadow Squadron like 2-pack, and a ton more. Like there were like any single holy grail you can imagine was almost on this re-release list, which was kind of crazy to think about. And then of course there was also a few different helmets as well, like the Stormtrooper, Prototype Boba, X-Wing Luke, a few others like that, but the main thing that a lot of people really cared about was of course the figures. And at first I was really skeptical about this. I wasn't really sure. It's just to me it sounded too good to be true. I think that a lot of those are really big Holy Grail figures, and you never really see that many figures get re-released at once like that. So it seemed a little too good to be true to me. But Nerdzoic actually did make another video essentially doubling down, saying that these would happen, and he also did announce that there would be some release dates for this. Starting every Tuesday, we would get some announcements for these re-releases, and they would go up for pre-order. First Tuesday came and went, and there was no figures that went up for pre-order, but there was one of the helmets, which was the Prototype Boba Fett helmet. And this kind of, I guess, validated some of Nerdzoic's claims, just because we didn't really know if any of this was true or not, and so to see something go up for pre-order that he said would go up for pre-order, it gave us a little bit of reassurance, but we hadn't seen any figures yet, so I know me personally, I was still a little skeptical. But then the next week came and went, and only one pre-order went up, and that was the Stormtrooper helmet. Still no figures. And so the third Tuesday is actually going to be the day after this video is posted, so we'll have to wait and see if any actual figures do get revealed. I still think there is a chance, but there is definitely some skepticism now in the community because of Star Action Figures, which is a UK-based company, and they've been posting a lot of stuff on their Facebook that actually contradicts a lot of Nerdzoic's claims, and this is where the drama really starts to come in. And before I do get into that, I do really want to just make a disclaimer here. I'm not picking sides in this. This is news, and I just think it's really important for you guys to know what's going on in the community right now. So I'm not picking sides. I am just pretty much reading the information that's out there to you guys. I think Nerdzoic has a great channel. He's a very smart guy, and I think Star Action Figures is a great company as well. It gives a lot of figures to people out in the UK, so like I said, not picking sides at all. I'm just giving you guys the facts because I think it's important for y'all to know it. And Out of the Basement also did already cover all of this news on their channel, so I suggest go checking out their video as well, because they did a great way of explaining this whole situation. So make sure to go check them out as well after you watch this video. This is the first post from Star Action Figures, and I will read this word for word. It says, "With regards to the Black Series reissue news that broke at the weekend, this has been in discussion for a while, and there is nothing to report at the moment. Although we are aware that something is happening, as soon as we know about the situation in the UK, and Hasbro confirms exactly what is available, then we will, of course, post updates. This should have never been leaked over the weekend and has caused a lot of issues for everyone." So in this, it was kind of like a respectful post here, but it does sound like that they've had a lot of problems with this being leaked. I'm assuming with different people trying to pre-order these, reaching out to them and emailing them and just clogging up their phone lines, stuff like that. I'm sure they've had a lot of problems with that, and so I'm sure they're pretty upset about it. They're not very happy, and so I understand where they're coming from here. But I also do think it's interesting, in the post they said that they are aware something is happening, which it does kind of validate Nerdzoic's claims that these re-releases are happening. Of course, they're not going to confirm anything, but that kind of backs it up a little bit. They did do a follow-up post that said, "The Black Series rumors are being discussed. We cannot say what is coming out or not, but nothing is confirmed yet." But then they do go on to say, "But I would be careful about spending large amounts on Grail figures at the moment." That's what I'll say, which I think this gives off a lot of information. Again, considering that they know that some sort of re-release is happening, I think that validates Nerdzoic's claims. And then there was a third post here, which it doesn't directly call out Nerdzoic, but it is essentially calling out Nerdzoic. They say, a couple weeks ago, a story broke that Hasbro would be reissuing a lot of older Black Series figures. Please note that this is not the case. And I think this is interesting because I do think that this kind of contradicts their previous posts on Facebook as well. But I do think it's interesting. I think they're kind of just trying to like cover for their tracks and make sure that they're not accidentally leaking anything early. So I could see why they would say this, and I'm sure that also kind of tries to keep people off their backs from emailing them and like filling their emails and phones. They go on to say there is currently no solid plans for older figures to be reissued in this way. Then they compare it to the previous like Captain Rex re-release, and next up here is actually where they like straight up call out Nerdzoic, and it essentially says, please be very careful of any site that suddenly has a quote-unquote news scoop and offers pre-orders that no one else is offering. So they're definitely throwing some shade at Nerdzoic here. Now, obviously, they didn't name Nerdzoic, but we all know who they're talking about, and it's quite interesting. And I'm sure they probably have every right to do so, because I guarantee that like I said it several times here, but him announcing these re-releases has probably caused the whole team there a lot of stress with like emailing people and answering phone calls, stuff like that. So overall, can I say that these re-releases are 100% happening? No. But do I think something is happening? Yes, I think something is happening. I think even in Star Action Figures posts, they kind of made it clear that something was happening behind the scenes, but they couldn't really disclose anything. And so I also think that Nerdzoic is a really smart guy, and he wouldn't go and announce all of this stuff if it wasn't happening. So I do think that these re-releases are in some shape or form happening, but I can't say that with 100% certainty. I think something's happening, but like I said, I would take it with a grain of salt. But Star Action Figures actually coming out and posting all this stuff makes it a lot more skeptical in my eyes. So like I said, I say stay skeptical about this, but also don't go spend a lot of money on Grail figures like they said. So at this point, it could go either way, and then that's why it's such an interesting thing to discuss, and that's why I really want to let you guys know about it, and why I think it's 100% important to cover on the channel, because a lot of people don't have these re-releases, and so it's important for you guys to know what's going on. So I really hope you guys enjoyed, and if you like more videos like this, please let me know down in the comments below. But overall, it's still up in the air. Don't like guarantee it on a re-release, but also don't spend your money on something that could possibly get re-released a few weeks from now. So that's all I have to say for this video. Like I said, go down, hit the like button, subscribe, and I'll see y'all in the next video.